it is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in this most convenient and available form. So emotional involvement with things you do not want is actually attracting more of those things. Has anybody used the law against themselves? Has anybody thought of an idea and it keeps flashing on the screen of the mind, something they really don't want?
I think we all have it one
We all have.
in time or another.
Anybody on the call want to express that? Talk about it?
I had one, and when I start to understand how the mind works, I start to write some affirmation directly for what I want to change, the image that I was projecting. So I change it for others' ideas. The image that I really want to see, and I start make a repetition of it, and I start feeling different at the moment I started do that. I start to check the ideas in the opposite side of the idea that I was playing, the idea that comes to my mind. So I start to see the other side and put the info and attention on the other side. And this start to change. And every time I feel a little bit that my paradigm is trying to kick, I put my attention again and working again on the ideas that I want to see, and start to change and play with the ideas, the new ideas, and get the emotion with them and feel them. Bring peace, bring another vibration, everything change.
Good. Everything that you're thinking about, you're bringing about.
And faith is believing what is unbelievable.
This mind is attracting everything into its world. If you go back to the way you were thinking, this right here was in perfect harmony with its past ideas. These past ideas are in harmony with this physical world. This physical world is a program. You came in, when the child came in, he already came into this world. So he received these ideas. This is the pattern plan. I call this destiny in the balance. What do you think it's in the balance of?
Your ability to
It's in
hold those.
alignment with what you're vibrating, where your frequency, all that. Your mindset is dictating your results.
If this individual does not change what it keeps thinking about. This mind, it just is. This energy just is. Perfect energy is flowing in here. Perfect. This energy just is. Guess who's changing it? Guess who's moving it?
You are.
Consciously or unconscious? Does everyone see that diagram? Do they understand it?
It's unconscious.
Yes, I also wanted to mention, some of our paradigm can come from childhood, but also some later in life as well, because some of us have had good business mentors, but we've also probably had some bad ones too. And so I really started to examine lately what part of that advice that I got 10 years ago, 12 years ago, what part of it did I actually let it seep into my paradigm, and what part of it doesn't help me to this day. You know, people say, well, it takes a certain amount of time to get a certain result, or don't try to get X result because that's impossible, or things like that.
This is right here, and well done. It's awareness. Awareness allows us to see beyond. Awareness allows you, when you start to say, hey, wait a minute, how come it has been so hard for me to break that line? It's awareness. Awareness allows you to do what?
See the wishes being already fulfilled.
Go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say it reflects directly with your attitude. When you're more aware, your attitude will change to the positive, that where you get your more desire to change your attitude, be different than what you were, to become what you know you are. All this reflects on attitude. Desire for me is on the attitude.
Attitude is a composition of the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions. The thoughts, the feelings, and the actions. You start to be able to see below you as well as to see above. Awareness causes you to look beyond. From where? From where you're at. Awareness allows you to use your creative imagination, to see beyond where you're at. To reach a higher level of being, you must have the highest level of self. Assumption of the wish fulfilled. That means you've got to assume a higher state. If we're going to go up, we do the same thing that we've been doing in the past. The only thing is, you're going to use different images. You can build another window over here. This other window can reflect itself over here. But you're not thinking from the lesser degrees anymore, are you? Lesser degrees of consciousness, right? You got to go up here. This is where you build the vision. And you got to take your mind and you got to rebuild new what?
Image.
Yep. Why?
If we continuously see the same things over and over again, we're going to get the same results. We have to see the wish fulfilled. We have to create the new vision. If we don't create the new vision, then we're destined to live the old one continuously. So we have to look to see the future as what we decide for it to be.
Can anyone go down here, go lower than where they're at right now? Right now, you can go down here and start acting like what you were doing before, can you not? Can you produce results 10 years ago?
If you
really wanted to?
If you really wanted to, I'm sure you could.
Could you go get a job at McDonald's?
Yep.
and start acting and thinking and just go do that. Would y'all not agree that you're going to attract again a center which controls money? You've got a money paradigm, and it's going to be controlled by what you're doing at Mickey D's. And then because that mindset, you went down there and you decided to do that. Let's say we all decided to go do that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that amount of money is controlled by that vibration. So by law, that amount of money controls the outer ring that you're going to experience. That mind was set, so you went there, and that mind will control the what? That money will control the outer ring, which is the people, places, plots, and circumstances. And then that's going to force you to go move into a different home, will it not?
Yes. All of our reasonable plans
Why?
and actions will never make up for loss or for lack of imagination.
Does money control the physical world?
Yes.
Outward expression.
Every bit of it. So if you go and your mindset is going to give, right? Let's go back to the law. Giving and receiving. To give, you're going to give a certain amount of ideas, and you're going to trade for it. And by law, what you give, you attract. So your mind thinks that you can only give and work at McDonald's. You're going to attract that amount of revenue, and the amount of revenue is going to attract to what? The outer ring that you live in. What you will see. Look, the mindset gives you what you will see in your outside world. What you will see. A recognition of the truth. What truth is it, though?
That you're manifesting your reality as you choose.
There you go.
Our desires turn into creative imagination.
Unconscious.
Unconscious or unconscious. Yep.
Doesn't matter.
We create.
We're creating through our thoughts. A man can never go further than what he thinks. Takeaways with what we just went over and what you're taking out of the video.
If I went back to, if I went working to McDonald's, I'd be one hell of a manager.
How much does a manager make?
I have no idea because I never worked at McDonald's.
It was some years ago. I think they were earning around $50,000 a year.
Yeah, that's not me. So
Yeah, you don't want that, right? You'd be going down in lifestyle, wouldn't you? Right?
So until
Because
we
money
grow,
controls the what? The lifestyle.
right? Until we
Style
grow
of
in the
life.
vision, when we can't decide for greater, that's we've lived so many other lives, and then we desire for greater, and then we become, and then we live, and we exist, and then we continue to grow. Why would we ever going to go backwards? Why? It's just for lack of creative imagination and holding and persisting in the image.
In the belief of who?
Oneself.
Again. Let's look at this future, what it could be. Why will you not select? The will is freedom. The will is freedom. But the will is your ability to select the images that you're working with. But normally you're going to only select. The average individual only selects past what? Images. Look. The average individual will only select the past images.
Why is that?
It's what he knows.
It's what he's accustomed to.
These past images were selected for him or her. These are all the past generations of ideas and the environment and the place he was born, she was born in. The average individual really does not do much more than what they were